Hello students, welcome to you in my channel. In this part of video, I will describe about Pal School and Jain School of Miniature Art Form. I hope that you have seen its first part of video. If you have not seen, then above is the link here. You can click and watch that video. So you will know about the painting subject, marking scheme and its syllabus. So let's start with the Pal School. As I said in my first part of video, the role of patron was very important. Patron means a person who support artists with money for their artwork and their livelihood. So in this case, under the patronage of Dharampal and Devpal, means patron of Pal School was Dharampal and Devpal. That's why Pal School got its name after the king Dharampal and Devpal. There were two very famous artists also, Vitpal and Dhimanpal. The subject of Pal School was Buddhism. Before developing the Pal School, Ajanta was already a great center of Buddhist art. Miniature art form of Pal School developed after the Ajanta period, and after the Ajanta period, the Buddhist monasteries of Nalanda, Vikramshila and Sompura witnessed a great phase of Buddhist art form in India. A large number of manuscripts were created on palm leaf and illustrated. The most fine example of Pal School of Art is a typical Buddhist manuscript on palm leaf is Ashtasaharsika Pragya Parmita, and this manuscript was created in 8,000 lines. Asht Saharshika means 8,000. So this manuscript was created in 8,000 lines, and Prajna Parmita means a female deity, means female goddess. That's why this manuscript name is Ashtasaharsika Pragya Parmita. For your information, Buddhism has two divisions, Hinyan and Mahayana, according to their belief on Buddha and nature. This manuscript is belong to Mahayana Buddhism. So this manuscript is illustrated in 6 folios with a dimension of 22.5 into 2.5 inches in rectangular form with wooden cover. So the process to create manuscript in Pal style was first calligraphy portion was done, and after the completion of calligraphy portion, between two calligraphy portion, artists were illustrated a painting. The main characteristics of Pal art was human figure was drawn in angular faces, means most of the images were created in Savachasma. Savachasma means you can see one eye completely and the second eye is visible a little bit. So this type of angular face is known as Savachasma. So here is the image of manuscript. You can observe it. So there is an illustration between two calligraphy portions. Since manuscript were sacred for Buddhism, so followers started to use vermilion and chandan paste on the manuscript, and this became the reason of their damage over the year. In last, you can write about declination of Pal School. The Pal art came to a sudden end after the destruction of Buddhist monasteries by the hand of Muslim invaders in the first half of the 13th century. That's why some of the monks and artists were fled to the Nepal. Now come to the Jain School of Art. While eastern part of India, Pal School was developing. In the parallel of this art, in the western part of India, another school was growing under the patronage of Chalukya dynasty, and that school was Jain School. Chalukya dynasty ruled in Gujarat, in some part of Rajasthan, and Malwa region. Time period of Jain art was 10th century to 16th century, while time period of Pal school was 8th century to 13th century. Between the period of Pal school, Jain school was started there in 10th century. As Pal school was totally devoted to Buddhism, like that Jain school was totally devoted to Jainism art. Their theme were Jain Tirthankar. The oldest painting of this manuscript was Parshvanath, Neminath and Rishabhnath. So these were Tirthankar of Jain religion. Almost 20 Tirthankar were painted in this manuscript, which are available in the Jain library in the western part of India. These paintings were done in a unique style but with strong distortion. Why strong distortion? Because if you will observe, then you can see in their illustration they created big eyes, wide chest and hip. Because eyes, chest and hip were created very enlarged, but the overall height was average, and these all illustration were done in two-dimensional form, means in a flat manner. So that's look unusual, but this is the art of primitive vitality with forceful line and colors. So let's observe the details of Jain School of Art. From about 1100 AD to 1400 AD, palm leaf were used to create this manuscript, but later on paper was introduced for this purpose. Two very popular and influential Jain texts, Jain manuscript, were created, were repeatedly used and illustrated. These paintings are Kalp Sutra and Kalkacharya Katha. And the Kalp Sutra was the collection of 4 Tirthankar biographies, including Mahavir. Kalp Sutra was all about the biographies of Tirthankar, about their jinas, while Kalkacharya Katha means Kalka Acharya. Acharya means teacher. So this is about a story of a teacher whose name was Kalka. So there was 2 very popular manuscript written or illustrated in Jain art was Kalp Sutra and Kalkacharya Katha. Jain style was started with their own style, and that was pure Indian art. But in central India, the Malwa region of Madhya Pradesh, influenced by the art from the all direction. Jain manuscript of Gujarat from the west, Muslim element of Jaunpur and Awadh from the east, Rajput art from the north and Deccan style from the south. So you can imagine how Jain art influenced by all directions. In the 15th century, Mandu was ruled by Khilji dynasty, under which we can see the Persian influence in Nimatnama manuscript. Later on, when it was ruled by Sultan Baz Bahadur, then Ragmala series, Lord Chanda and Chaur Panchasika series were created and illustrated, and this became the subject according to ruler choice. Thus we can say that art of central India started from primary influence of Gujarat, but developed with wide range of influences, and finally write about the character of Jain School of Art. So in Jain School you can observe big eyes, angular faces, man and woman were created with modular height, plenty of motifs were used, and large number of gold characteristics decorated this Kalp Sutra painting. So this was all about the Jain School of Art according to your syllabus. Write your answer with point wise, as like when the school was started, under which patronage school is developed, and which are the main manuscript were created, or illustrated. If there is any artist like Vittapal and Dhimanpal of Pal School, you can write their name, mention about the characteristics of that style, and in last, if there is any reason of declination of that art form, so write that point. And in last, you should complete your answer with conclusion with 2 or 3 lines, that in the history of Indian art, what is the importance of that school. In your word, you can finish your answer. I hope that you understand these 2 topics, Pal School and Jain School, through this video. In next video, I will come with Mughal and Deccan School of Art. So keep watching, keep practicing, and subscribe my channel if you have not done. And don't forget to click on bell icon so you will get notification of my each video. Thank you.